Well, the motion that started from the crankshaft through clutch and through gearbox is available at the other end of the propeller shaft, which is not connected to the gearbox shaft. This is connected to the differential. Now, differential is yet another component of the transmission system. Differential performs two types of functions. One is that the motion is transferred through 90 degrees. Well, this is a simple observation that propeller shaft and the axle to which motion is being transferred are at right angle to each other. So the rotary motion at the end of the propeller shaft is to be rotated through 90 degrees along the axis of the live axle. Now, where we are transferring motion, that axle is known as live axle. So this is done with the help of a pinion and gear. We are all familiar with the pinion and gear system, and this is used for transferring motion through 90 degrees. Another important function that is performed by the differential is when the vehicle takes a turn. Now, when the vehicle is traversing a circular path or taking a turn, it is moving along an arc which has got a center. As the vehicle moves, two wheels are on the outer side of the vehicle and two wheels are on the inner side of the vehicle. The wheels which are on the inner side are moving in an arc that has got a smaller radius. Wheels which are on the outer side, they are moving on an arc which has got a bigger radius. The difference in the two will be equal to the width of the vehicle. Inner wheels which are traversing a smaller arc are moving through a smaller distance as compared to the outer wheels which are moving on the outer arc with bigger radius. Inner and outer wheels are required to move together because they are the part of the single body. Therefore, obviously, to cover different distance, one is covering more distance, another is covering lesser distance in the same time, the speeds of the inner and outer wheels will not be same. The outer wheels will be moving at higher speed and inner wheels will be moving at lower speed. This variation of speed in outer and inner wheels is made possible with the help of differential. How it is done, that we will be seeing when we talk about differential in details. The last component of the transmission system is the live axle. Now we have seen that inner and outer wheels are required to move at different speed. So the live axle is the shaft in two halves and differential is in between them. If you look, you can look at anywhere, on the rear side of a truck, you will find that there is a strong axle. It is very significantly visible. The central part of that axle, you may notice that it is spherical in shape. So what you are looking at is the axle casing. Inside that you have differential and two half shafts connected to the two wheels on the opposite sides. So we have axle, that is live axle where motion is being transferred, and this axle is in the form of two half shafts. The other axle where motion is not transferred is termed as dead axle, and the purpose of this axle is mainly to take up the load of the vehicle. So this is about the different components of transmission system. Another basic component of an automobile is body. Now in earlier times there used to be a separate frame to which body was attached. Now this is limited only to heavy and commercial vehicles where you get a frame which is forming the chassis, and on that frame you have to build a body, and for which you have to take your vehicle to the body manufacturing unit. According to your need, you can have the body built on the frame. In some designs, there are subframes that are used on which we have engine and other components fixed. Now these subframes are fixed on the main frame. In the recent past, we have development that has taken place as far as spot welding is concerned. This is part of welding technology. Another change has occurred in sheet pressing techniques. Because of this, it is now possible to have integral design of body as far as automobiles or cars are concerned. All the assembly units of the vehicles are attached to the body, which also acts as frame. By this, we are able to make vehicles compact, light, and even the cost is reduced. There are some intermediate designs also. Now these designs use light chassis and pressed steel body. The light chassis in these designs is provided proper strength by providing a platform that is made of steel sheet. So the body of the vehicle is something which forms the fourth basic component of the automobiles. In case of cars, it is different, but in case of commercial vehicles, it is different. So these were four basic components of an automobile. Apart from these four components, we have a very important component, that is suspension system. The purpose of the suspension system is to provide comfortable ride to the users of the car. Suspension system is also important for the vehicles that are meant for carrying goods. It is very essential to transport the goods in the vehicles without any damage, and suspension system helps to transport the goods in the undamaged form. Suspension system comprises of mainly springs and shock absorbers. They are meant to absorb the vibrations and shocks that can be caused because of so many reasons. One of the reasons can be the uneven surface of the road. Well, you may be moving on a rough kacha road, or you may be moving on a good metal road. Even in good metal road, there is a possibility there may be some uneven surface, though unevenness may be very small. But even this small unevenness can cause some vibrations which can be uncomfortable to the user of the vehicle. These vibrations, however small, cannot be allowed to transmit to the body of the vehicle and cause inconvenience and uncomfort to the user of the vehicle. So we have suspension system which comprises of springs and shock absorbers. There are some other components of suspension system also that can be taken up when we talk about suspension system in details. Apart from four basic components and suspension system, we have two other control mechanisms which are very important to have proper motion of the vehicle on the road. These control mechanisms are steering system and brakes. First we take up steering system. It is a system that controls the direction of motion. Well, when you are moving on the road, it is very important to control the direction of motion of the vehicle, even if it is a straight road. If we are moving on curved roads, then also it becomes very essential to control the direction of motion. Also, when we are taking a left turn or a right turn, it becomes very important that the change of direction is very accurate. Now this is done with the help of a steering mechanism. Now the steering mechanism is available to us in the form of a steering wheel in case of automobiles or in case of bigger vehicles. In case of two-wheelers, we have a handlebar that we control with the help of our hands. And with the help of handlebar, we can change the direction of motion. We will talk about steering system also in details later. The other control mechanism in an automobile is brakes. Whosoever has driven any vehicle, a two-wheeler or a four-wheeler, has experienced or has applied brakes a number of times. Practically, when we are moving on the road, there may be a situation when we have to reduce the speed of the vehicle. To reduce the speed of the vehicle, we apply brakes. Again, when we have reached our destination, we have to stop the vehicle. So to stop the vehicle also, we have to apply the brakes. Now, brakes are something which cause friction against the movement of the road wheels, and this friction causes the reduction in speed or stopping the vehicle. The brakes are required to be applied again and again. The effectiveness of the brakes should not reduce because of the repeated application. Well, when we say effectiveness of the brakes, this means that when we are pressing the brake pedal, how effectively the speed is reduced or the vehicle is stopped. Also, we don't want that the brakes are 100% effective. 100% effectiveness means that when you press the brake pedal, the vehicle becomes stationary at once. The change of state from motion to rest should take place gradually. Otherwise, it will hurt the user of the vehicle. Apart from these, we have some components which are auxiliaries. Now, auxiliaries, as you can understand, are some components which may not be essential, but they are additional. So, what are the components or what are the parts that you consider additional or which are not very essential? Well, if you talk about cars which were available, say 15 years or 20 years back, air conditioners in the car were auxiliaries at that time. But if you look upon the cars available today, maybe you can find air conditioner in each and every car. So with the passage of time, an auxiliary has become an essential component. In today's time, one of the auxiliaries that I can think about is a camera that is fixed on the rear side of the car, and this helps the driver to move the car in reverse direction. You can get the view of the rear side and you can see if there is something at the back of the vehicle. This type of system is not available at present in all the cars, but the possibility is that in near future this also becomes an essential component and is available in all the cars. Well, anyway, still we can have some components which are auxiliaries, and these are additional components which are meant to make the users of the vehicle more comfortable and make their journey enjoyable. Till now we have talked about two topics. One was evolution of automobiles and the other was explaining different components of an automobile. If you want to know more about, say, evolution of automobiles or even about the different components of automobiles, my suggestion will be go to internet. In the present time, we have a lot of information that we can have from internet. You can access different sites and know more about these things. It is not possible for me to include all the things that are available on internet. There are so many limitations, including legal limitations. So my suggestion is that while viewing these videos, if you happen to feel curious about anything, you immediately access the internet and try to find more details about these things. I would like to say one more thing, that while accessing internet, you should be careful, because all the information that is available on internet may not be true. So you have to find out yourself and see that you do not get any false information. Thank you.